Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Billy Keels, and I am here to answer your questions today. So, hopefully, you have plenty of questions because I have some answers. Hey, listen, by the way, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Billy Keels. I am a person who likes working. Well, I actually like my job. I work in a big multinational. So I love doing that during the day. Love going out helping customers solve big complex problems. I really enjoy that, and I absolutely love being an entrepreneur as well. So I am um, investing in cash flowing assets. So I would say entrepreneur as well as investor, and I love doing that, and those investments are back in the United States. I love living in Europe, which is here in Spain. And I tend to help a lot of people that are similar like me, that are probably when working in sales or sales leadership, that they are in IT and telco or pharma. And I like to help them in a way that is useful for them, typically around helping them get more control over their financial life. And I do it in a way that is, I guess some would say non-traditional, but that's because I'm not a financial advisor. I do understand numbers, and I'm understanding more and more and more actually how money works. And I like being able to share that. And one of the ways I did that is actually coming up with an ebook. That ebook, you can pick it up. It's really free. Basically, you leave your email address. You go to keeponcashflow.com/roadmap. And so you can pick it up there if you'd like. And if you're really serious about getting control over this, there is an option for you to go into some deeper dive lessons and stuff like that. But it's definitely not for everybody. If you are serious, really serious, then it's the roadmap that I've used to, well, start to have even more and more control over my financial life. And I work in sales, which is like super stressful and all this kind of stuff. And I actually am able to work and focus on going out to help customers because I'm not completely focused on just making money during my day job. I've done that for a really long time. And over the last 6 years, I have been doing that successfully in the multinational and building a real estate portfolio that is helping to allow me to be more comfortable and get my family and I closer to our goals. We're helping a lot of people in the communities in which we invest and build teams. And yeah, so that's something that I enjoy doing and thought I would share that with you. So, but the reason I'm here today is to answer many of you in the tribe. I like to do this on, on today, which is Sunday. And I like to spend some time before we start to wind up here at the house. And well, basically, I want to spend a couple minutes here answering your questions. So depending on the questions that you may have, we may spend a long time here. And if you don't have many questions, then we probably won't spend that much time here because this session is all about you. I love to be able to answer questions that are related to sales, that are related to real estate investing, of course, helping you to get unstuck, most importantly, because if you are unstuck, then that means you'll go out and you will take action. If you take action and are achieving results, and that will be good. And then if you're able to say, hey, look, I got my question answered with Billy, and that was one of the other things that I took into consideration before I made my movement forward, and it worked out for you. Hey, listen, then I would be elated, like boom, over the moon, kind of stuff, or over the moon. And so that is what we are talking about today. And I also realized that the weather's like still really, really nice outside for those of us that are in Europe. I mean, that the days are long, like the days are going to continue to get long for like the next 19 days. And then we start sending it some more of the sunshine back down to our friends in the Southern Hemisphere. So everybody in the Southern Hemisphere, like, you're going to be super happy when we start to, well, we're into our summertime and doing all that kind of stuff. Anyway, just trying to think of a couple things while we see as people are coming in, joining us here. I'm always interested in knowing more and more about you as you are joining us. I had actually a chance yesterday. One of the things that was really interesting, we had a lot going on here yesterday, which was pretty wild. But I had a really, really, really productive conversation with a banker back in the U.S. and one of the markets that my team and I are going to continue to invest more heavily in. It was actually really interesting. And it was just a reminder that or we need to always be well versed in different languages. What do I mean by that? As you start to build a business and you have more and more people that you're talking to, I mean, this is very similar to what I do in my day job, but um, I'm thinking this more for those of you that are going out and investing, or if you want to invest either yourself actively or you want to invest passively, you need to become more fluent in new languages. So yesterday when I had the conversation with the banker, we went through a number of different scenarios. Like, this guy didn't know me. I got an introduction to him, and we were connected to one another. And yesterday, which was a Saturday, we thought, hey, look, let's make the connection. So he and I got on the phone, and with me being here and outside of the U.S., there's always a couple of things. And what is this guy doing, and why does he want to invest? And then he starts talking to me about things that are relevant in his world, like debt service coverage ratio. And he wants to start talking about things like how we're measuring the net operating income and how we're getting the valuation for a property. He wants to talk about risk mitigation. He wanted to talk to me about things like if we're going to do new construction, how are we going to do that? Are we going to do that as a fixed cost? Or are we going to do that as cost plus? And the fact of the matter is, these are things that I am familiar with. So as we're starting to have the conversation, he realized that I'm not just the person who's here to kick tires. I'm not just a person that's here is going to waste his time, right? And so because we could speak one another's language, and he knew that I understood his language, and I could start talking to him about, do they use a traditional like 1.25 DCR or DSCR, which is debt service coverage ratio, or are they a bit more aggressive given the project? Meaning, do they go below 1.25? Do they use something like a 1.1, or are they even more conservative, like a 1.3? Now, if all that stuff didn't make any sense to you, apologies. But basically, it's just a way for anyone who is in the lending business, is a way to understand how much cash flow is in a particular project to be able to repay the amount of money that you borrow, right? And so if the numbers are bigger, it means that they're more conservative, which means it's going to be potentially more challenging. If the numbers are smaller, closer to one, then they tend to be a little bit more or less conservative, put it that way. And that can mean different things to different people. But anyway, that was one thing that happened yesterday. So I thought that was relevant to talk to you about. And when I start talking to the attorneys, then we're just going to have a different type of conversation. When I'm talking to my broker, we're having different types of conversations, and potentially with general contractors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Very similar to the way that in my day job, if I'm talking to the CFO, we're having a certain type of conversation. If we're talking to the head of operations, it's a different one. If it's the CEO or the CIO, all of those conversations tend to be a little bit different because each person looks at the world from their point of view. And so as a salesperson, you need to be able to recognize that during the day, have the conversation tailored in the right way, and be ready to move forward. So, but very similar skill sets outside of the 9 to 5 as an entrepreneur. So, yeah, so that's it. I can see a number of you jumping in and out, which is great. I'm always excited when I see people coming in and out, because I know you're really busy, and the fact that you would even pop over here while you're surfing or doing whatever it is that you're doing on this particular channel. If you spend a little bit of time with me, with us, I always appreciate that. And I'm just trying to think what else we could do, what other things I could share with you. I know that yesterday that was something that was off the top of my mind, something that was really important, or something I think could be relevant for you. So that's why I wanted to share that with you. A couple of receipts that I need to move over here, and get ready for tomorrow. What other things? Let's see if you're still here. This happened to me last week. It says that the connection is poor, but that happened last time. I'm just going to check some things out really quickly. Sorry, if you are here, I'm just going to try something. Great. So at least that way I know you are still here. So I just had a little check. And so as you join, feel free to let me know what questions you have. Just type them in. And if you're coming back and you're checking it out later on, if you're on the replay, feel free to hit hashtag replay and ask your question because I will check back tomorrow and make sure that you get an answer because it's really important for me to give you answers. One of the other things no, that's okay. I'll wait. Over here. And one of the other things let's see if we can reconnect with everybody, which is nice. A little bit of a delay, but you're still here. That's fine. Awesome. Hey, I would love to know what you thought about also too some of the videos I did a couple videos the other day. One was related to cash on cash return. And you know what? I don't think I've released the other one yet. I wanted to look at payback period. That was something that came up as well. And just to people understanding, how familiar are you with payback period as a terminology for investing? How familiar are you with that? Or if you want to tell or share with the community, if you already know what it is, feel free to let us know. Of course, we always want to know that you know. And if you don't, well, don't know why this does that to me. It's done this a couple times. So don't know why this keeps doing that. But anyway, I know you can see me. I know you have questions, but it's probably one of these Sundays where you're probably out doing things. The weather's great. That's fine. I just wanted to check in with you. If you have any questions, let me know what those are. I'm going to be working on a couple things for you, which will be coming up, which I'm sure that you will enjoy. What's up, bro? Hopefully you stuck around. I don't know if you're still here or not, but if you are, I hope you're doing well. We're getting closer to your day, by the way. Listen, I'm just here checking in with people, answering their questions, and that's it. But I've come to the end of the 15 minutes, so I've got to get ready and run because I'm working on a couple things. Thank you so much for checking in, everybody. Appreciate that. And I want you to have a great rest of your Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. This is BK. Hasta la próxima. Ciao.